Hello everyone, my name is Trevor and I go by Mr. Trails, and today I pioneer in the realm of stupidity. A couple days ago I had the idea to attempt to beat the Outer Worlds blindfolded, and I did so with no preparations. And let me tell you, I failed. I failed hard. However, I wouldn't call it a complete waste of my time, because when I was doing attempts, I tried to move my mouse as little as possible. So when I inevitably gave up on trying to beat the game blindfolded, I decided to try using my mouse as little as possible with my eyes open. However, my first few attempts stuck too closely with the speedrun, meaning I would use it in menus to level up and fast travel. But those are not necessary things to do, so I wasn't satisfied with this. So I wanted to see if you can beat the game without using your mouse at all. So let's see if this is possible. Your immediate thought would be, how would I turn to interact with things or talk to people? While they are not set to anything on default keybinds, you can make a key to turn the character left and another key to turn your character right. Another thing you might say is that this is a shooter/fighting RPG. And as a speedrunner, I disagree with that statement. So when we land, we make our way through the tutorial section. We need to shoot a bullet at these barrels to be able to make progress, and they are at a height that makes this task possible. We make our way to the talking spaceship, and she tells us to help her get some body modifications if we want her to take us anywhere. I'm used to skipping this exit dialogue with the Spacer's Choice people, but it's easy enough to fool them without getting a ticket, because I am so clearly dressed like an inspector. So we head to Edgewater and speak with our main man Reed, who tells us how to get ourselves a power regulator. And if he was really smart, he wouldn't tell me there's one in the Saltuna factory. I'm just saying. Then we go ahead and we run to the geothermal plant. If you've seen the speed run for this game, you'd know we can just jump the fence from here. Entering in the side door, if you avoid detection from the robots that are in the front room, you can access the terminal that will allow you to go through the rest of the plant. So quite a few of the objects in the game are below our eye level, so we have to crouch to be able to interact with them. After we've hit all three of these switches, we can exit and re-enter to reset the positions and awareness of the robots. Once we come back inside, if we're lucky, this robot won't catch us at all. Unfortunately though, he does capture us. But with the changes in elevation in this room, we can line ourselves up precisely to take it down. We will divert the power away from Edgewater and we can leave the plant. Here, I use the old speedrun strategy of jumping back over the fence to leave and make a mad dash to Edgewater. Here in the speedrun, we'd normally level up our dialogue before this conversation so the guards don't attack us. But Mama didn't raise no wuss, so we tell him to shove it, run past him, take the regulator, and run like hell. Once we're back at the ship, we install Ada's desired body modification and we head into space. Now here is sadly where we cannot continue without our mouse. In order to travel between planets, we need our mouse on this screen. And for this run, I am banning the use of a controller, so we need to use it. It is the tragic reality that we must mourn. Press F to pay respects. But we've made it this far and we still haven't used our mouse at all in the overworld, so let's see if we can get away with using it to menu as little as possible. The stat combination chosen at the beginning of the save file makes it so we have 40 lockpicks, which means we can steal from Gladys's safe without needing to improve our skills. If we time a press of the E button properly, we can talk to Udam without pickpocketing him. We hand the seal to Udam and make our way back to the ship to travel to Byzantium, bringing the mouse usage up to 2 times. We head into the office area, and here is without a doubt the hardest part of the game without a mouse. Because this trick will skip half of the game, we need to use it in order to get the desired ending in as few uses of the mouse as possible. If you don't know how this trick works, I already made a video explaining the speedrun in detail. But the short explanation is this guy can open this door for us with some encouragement, which will eliminate the need to travel to Monarch entirely. Without a mouse, this trick is not impossible, but even when it does work, the only dialogue option we have access to without money is to attack him. So for this reason, I go ahead and use my mouse to level up my dialogue to be able to pass the speech checks with him. While this will bring my personal mouse counter up to 3, this dialogue level up isn't exactly necessary. Between Edgewater and the Groundbreaker, I do believe there would be enough to steal to eventually have money to bribe him not to attack us. And to be brutally honest, I can't be bothered to route this out just just for nobody to watch. So if I get 10 likes on this video, I will do it again without the extra use of the mouse here. Even still, performing the office key skip is not easy without a mouse. It's trivial to do when we can sit on the desk and look down at him for a pickpocket, but looking down or up without a mouse is not an option. When pressed up against him behind the desk and spamming the button to pickpocket him, he will only be alert to you with an occasional head movement. You have to predict when he's going to catch you and immediately jump onto and over the desk and then get into position next to the door. Doing this quickly without a mouse is not impossible, but it does require a lot of patience or a bit of luck. After quite some time on this attempt, I was able to get him to open the door. Once he does, we print the key card to the ministry and head that way. I already grabbed the holographic shroud at this point, so I need a UDL cartridge. Surviving the mayhem from the guards is very difficult without a mouse, so I chose to pickpocket it from the guard's inventory. You'd think he would have turned around after seeing someone go behind him, but that's not how the AI works in this game. So we get over to the elevator, head through the basement, and steal the laughing gas. We leave the ministry and head back to the ship through the HHC building. From here, we have to head to Phineas's lab to leave, so we have to use the mouse for a fourth time, 3 being required. We speak with Phineas and he gives me the talk, and we head back to Ada to travel to the Hope, requiring a 4th mandatory mouse usage and the 5th that I perform. We make our way through the Hope, we barely snag this door cartridge, and we head to the bridge. If we chose to be dumb in the beginning, we can crash the ship into the sun. And so the credits roll and I beat the Outer Worlds without using the mouse at all to move around in the overworld, and only used it a few times when menuing. The entire time I was initially testing using no mouse in the overworld, I was continuously shocked by how little I needed it. For the game to have as little as 4 required mouse inputs necessary when playing on a mouse and keyboard is quite astounding. But if you don't like that I did the sun ending, I'll tell you only have to have a few more mouse inputs necessary to do Phineas's ending. If you were to do the setup to bribe the secretary, having only 4 mouse usage, after the Hope, you travel back to Phineas's lab for a 5th. Heading through the lab, it is possible to sneak past these guards with only a 40 sneak skill, as I do here in this Phineas Ending speedrun. You would be able to grab the key card for Tartarus from Phineas's back panel, and to avoid the fast travel, you don't have to sneak past the guards again, because the only reason we do was to have them not interfere with us using the terminal. But since you've already done that at this point, you can go past them and run like hell. You can make it through Tartarus without the guards shooting at you, but I believe this will require a stat of 70 in Lie. And as far as I'm aware, this is your only option without any better gear or money, but you will have leveled up enough to achieve the 70 live stat. This will bring up the mouse usage to 6, but let me know in the comments if it's possible to avoid this mouse usage. The actual traveling to Tartarus brings the count up to 7. It is entirely possible to make your way through the docking bay and the pit without your mouse, and if you just spam 1 with slightly different dialogue setup, you can convince Sophia to back off. I do know it is possible to get her to back off without incredibly high speech checks, so it wouldn't require any additional mouse usage. Making your way to Phineas with some well-timed inputs, you can finish the game with only 7 mouse inputs with the Phineas ending. So, with everything that I have said, is it possible to beat the Outer Worlds without a mouse? No. Put an asterisk next to it and say, in the overworld, then the answer is yes, and that is unbelievably cool in my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, let me know with a like. If you would like a follow-up video where I do the theoretical 4 input route as well as both the Phineas and the board endings with little mouse usage, get the video up to 10 likes. Which will probably not happen, which means I get to be lazy. So smash that like button and sub not to miss it. And of course, if you hate everything, then dislike this video. I am Mr. Trails, and I will catch you next time.